Hi, my name is Grant Van Leuven. I'm the pastor of Puritan Reformed Presbyterian Church here in Paradise Hills, San Diego, California. And today we're here to just share about our experience as a session working with our brother and good friend, Mr. Randy Haragan. A number of years ago, we sold part of our property to him as we were looking for ways to improve our finances and keep the ministry going. And we're going to just share about that experience together today. We have done a few videos with Randy about how the process works, so we can overlap with that. But mainly today, what we'd like to do is share our experience as a session. To my right is Mr. Malcolm Maxwell. To my left, Mr. Ron Renner, I should say Elder Malcolm and Elder Ron, and myself. We serve as the session leading this church, and we just want to share about our experience with Randy. And we do intend that this is our testimonial for other church leadership that may want to consider a similar project, and definitely our endorsement. So, but we kind of want to do it just off the cuff, a bit casually, because we hope to capture what a good friendship we have and how much we've just enjoyed the relationship together. As I've joked, not looking forward to the project being finished because it's just been so nice to have Randy around all the time. But yeah, and maybe Randy, you can help me remember. I think we had been talking about, we started in 2020, I think, in terms of exploring the project, which was right before COVID hit.
That's right. We began early that year, and the exploration took an inordinate amount of time because there was no one to give answers. You couldn't get into the city. You couldn't get someone to pick up the phone. It was quite a interesting time for everybody. Has a lot of funny memories from that time, but certainly trying to explore through the city planning department was a challenging time. So it took us a while before we even knew what we could really do, before we had any authoritative answers about what might even be possible.
I think one of the neat things to share about that, I mean, it's certainly probably not for your experience as much being the investor, but it really did prolong the project and made it a lot of extra things to have to go through. But one of the good things we can say about that is it really wouldn't normally take as long as it did. Right now it's January 2026, and so we started in 2020. In terms of exploring the process, it wouldn't normally take that long. The COVID experience really prolonged things. On the other hand, one thing I know we elders have often said is we've been so impressed just with the way you've handled everything, patiently, with a good Christian spirit and example. Sometimes I've said I got to remember to act like Randy when something happens like that. So, I mean, we can say because of that prolonged experience with a lot of extra difficulties and frustrations, or at least challenges, even including at part of the project, you lost your general contractor to death. So there have been so many things to work through, unusual and extra components for this project, but we've been able to observe how you've just been patient and just handled and managed them all really well, always communicating with us really well. But just to say, it wouldn't normally take this long, but because of that, we've had even more of an opportunity to work with you for a prolonged time, observe things, and be able to give our hearty recommendation of your character and your work ethic. Yeah. So maybe, I guess we'll start around the room here. To my right, Elder Malcolm Maxwell, can you share with us anything you'd like to share with other pastors or church leadership about the experience working with Randy, if you can recommend him, and if not, just keep it to yourself. No, just kidding.
Well, as you can tell, we have a great sense of humor. Yeah, we love Randy very much. He's like family to us. And for my own experience with Randy in this project, it's been such a blessing to us, such a blessing to me. Even though it's been a long process, as Pastor was mentioned about COVID, yet his patience and his perseverance, and we just seen it from the bottom to the top of how the apartments have grown. It's just amazing. And you guys need a good worker. I honestly promote Randy to you.
Thank you. Okay. And I don't know, sorry, I'll sneak this around you. I don't know if any of the noise is coming through, but there's construction and work going on at the moment, so you might hear a little bit of noise in the background. That's the work going on, and maybe that's another thing to comment on. I'm not here as much as I used to be because of some other work that I do now. But for most of the project, I was here most days, which is why I'm not looking forward to when Randy won't be. It was nice, so I was here to observe a lot of the project and all the different steps of construction. And Randy has just done a great job working with his teams. There really haven't been any issues, but when there might be a little this or that we want to try to touch base on, Randy's always very responsive. The teams are always very responsive and respectful. We've just enjoyed also the teams working here. It's been a very professional project all around, I think. So, Elder Renner? Oh, yeah, if you can use that mic. What can you say about Randy that we can use that's good about him? Anything negative, just keep it to yourself.
Okay, then I don't have anything to say. No, I would say I'm the oldest one here and dealt with in the business world for many years. And I can tell you that, Randy, there's very few people that have the character that you have. Anything that has come up over the years that this project has been going, the way that Randy handles the entire situation is a rarity in our day and age. And if there's anyone to be an example to follow, it's Randy Haragan. I can tell you that there has been some hiccups along the way, but you would never know the depth of the hiccup by talking to Randy. He just deals with the problem in a calm and expeditious way and takes care of it. And anything that he's needed or that comes up regarding his property and our property, and if there's something that is going to possibly interfere with our property, he's always the very first one to contact us. Is this going to be all right if we do this or that? And of course, it always comes out just, it could not be better. And especially when you think of the time that it's taken because of COVID and the different things. Randy and I have gone to the county together with the mortgage company, the different things that we have dealt with. Randy has basically held my hand in helping me navigate this whole thing as well as him, and regarding the church. So I could not, absolutely could not imagine having a better man to deal with than Randy Haragan. And like Pastor said, I am not looking forward to him not being here when I show up, just to find out what's going on. And Randy, you've just been absolutely the best.
So, Ron, can you share, sounds like you did have some concerns, or what's the word, I don't know, trepidation about how this might work at the beginning. We didn't know what we're doing. What were some of those concerns, and how did you see those work out?
When we first got started with the program, one of the very first issues that we were talking about when Session was talking about selling this portion of the property was that we were going to need a civil engineer to do a lot of the work, and even before we could put up a for sale sign. And after we met with the civil engineer, told him what we were talking about doing, about selling a portion of our property, and everything that he came back to us with, it was going to be impossible. It was going to be impossible for us to even be able to afford to do that. And when we met with Randy said, "That's not going to be an issue. I will take care of that." And And he did. And he just, every little bump in the road, he just made it smooth out, and he knew what to do, how to do it, and who to contact to make it get done. And that's what we did not have. We didn't have that expertise that Randy has, and that's why he's such an incredible individual to handle a project like this.
Yeah, another thing I think to comment on that may be important not to overlap or skip over is just how much we've commented on as we see things grow. It becomes kind of an exciting thing for the church to watch and say, oh, look at that. But especially right now, as it's nearing completion and how beautiful it looks, we've all been talking about, wow, this just looks great. And it makes our whole area look great. It looks more like a community rather than this flat gopher lot that has been pretty much what it is for a long time. It's these beautiful homes, the landscaping, and as it turns out, the city has been doing a lot of work on the streets, so there's going to be all new paving. And we said, boy, when this is all done, it's going to look like we're a whole new neighborhood, which frankly doesn't hurt to just have a more welcoming area overall. We've really been enjoying that, and I don't know that I really considered that, but as it's getting finished, it's like, wow, this looks outstanding, and this makes our area look better.
And I've just had a tour of some of the townhomes here, and they are absolutely gorgeous inside. If I was a new person getting ready to buy a home, if I walked in here, it would just be sold. I would, whatever it was going to take, I would be wanting to live here.
How are you feeling about the way it looks? What are your thoughts about how this improves the way our property and our community looks for welcoming visitors? I'll give you the mic. Oh, yeah.
From 1 to 10, I would give it a 10. 10 plus. It just makes our neighborhood look so much better. It just makes our church look so much better. And Randy has been such a great encouragement to us all, and we look forward to seeing the new tenants, and hopefully some of them even visited our church.
Yeah.
And that was one of our prayers and goals for this project, that not only the new apartments, but even the apartments across the street, the houses, that they would also see that even our little church, that we will welcome anyone who wants to visit us.
Thanks. Randy, I don't know if there's anything that you think would be helpful for us to touch on, this being our kind of video testimonial and endorsement of your work by our experience. Is there anything that we're not touching on that you think might be helpful for other leadership of churches to hear from us?
I feel almost a little embarrassed y'all have been so generous with your compliments and your endorsement. I do want to say that I've worked with other churches, not on a project of this magnitude before, and it's been a wonderful experience. And I will say that you interpret my actions as one of an expert, and I heard something in a movie the other night I think applies. It's let me say something that is so honest that it's going to sound like admitting stupidity. But many of the steps along this way to get to this point is not because I'm an expert, but I really do feel comfortable asking questions. I really feel comfortable about putting my cards out on the table, with whether I'm dealing with you as the people of the church, or when I go down to the city and put my cards on the table with them and say, look, here's what I think, here's what I don't really know for sure, let's just talk about it. And it does seem to provide an opportunity where we can get through difficult interactions without people walking away or people getting frustrated or people feeling nervous, and that's been helpful. And I would just say it's been a joy working with you. I mean, I feel like I've got lifelong friends from this. I mean, we were friends before to a little degree, more so with Grant, but I'd met Malcolm and Ron, but I feel like this is just a church now that really are friends to me, and I love praying for you and your members, throughout the week, and it's been a great blessing. Now it'll be really something to celebrate when we finally reach the finish line.
Yeah, we need to have a party or some kind of special worship service.
We could do something, because as much as I love being around here, I'm ready to wrap this up.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate your kind and generous words.
I think as you talk about that, what comes to mind for me that I think is worth reiterating is just how easy it is for the church. Like, all the stuff you take on and have to work through and learn. And I think that is really important to mention. Like, with any project, especially this kind of thing, there's always going to be things that come up that you have to be able to adjust and learn on the fly and ask questions. And yeah, we've observed that. But as you talk about that, what I found myself doing was, and we didn't have to worry about any of that. Like it really is that simple for the church's experience. Randy meets with us, and he discusses this in his other video, but just to review a little bit, he meets with us, he explores it, he takes on the cost of the exploration, and if he decides he can't do it, there's no cost to us. But if he decides he wants to do it, we determine a price, we work the sale, and then he takes the project. So it really is so simple for us and has been such a blessing. And I think in our case, it's also been encouraging for us to know we're working with a brother. We're just even encouraged to know we're happy this can be something to bless your family. But, you're doing something that just feels like almost an extension of the church in a sense, even though we know we've sold it, it's your property. But really, it has been great as much as we've observed and been curious and, we're kind of involved just because we're interested. It really is the kind of thing that once the sale is complete, the church doesn't have any responsibility or anything to do. There is that natural communication and, support of one another. But you really take it and run with it. And you've had a lot of things to learn on the fly. But you do bring that expertise that, I think all of us would be kind of like, I quit. I don't know what to do. And you have the reference points, you have the experience, right, and the knowledge. You know who to ask or where to go. And what to do about it. So, I think maybe we would express our just complete confidence in working with Randy and highly recommend this. And if you are again in a similar situation like our little church, which is more and more the case, in different lines of work I've been in that overlap with ministry, I've met a lot of pastors, a lot of churches are looking to rent significant parts of their building to keep things going. That's a pretty common experience I'm observing out there. But another possibility is if you have a lot like ours that was never in use, we always talked about maybe someday, and the reality was probably we're not going to be able to pull that off. So is there a way that we can make use of it for our own finances to help keep things going, but also improve the area? I kind of expect some we would hear from about the gophers that some was convinced that we were the source of all the gophers in the neighborhood. And I'm pretty sure we weren't, especially considering where this particular person lives. Nonetheless, that's not going to happen now. It's a beautiful, landscaped, lovely area that really does beautify the area. So in every way, I think, it's improved our finances. It's helped us to do other improvements we've needed to do, as well as other investments. But again, it feels like it's just such an investment in our neighborhood. I feel like we've contributed to the neighborhood. It's really beautified it a lot. And anyways, I don't know if you men have anything else you'd like to say, Randy, if anything else comes to mind. But yeah, sure. Give you the mic there.
Well, I just want to also mention that Randy's been working with Irma and I in our house, in our backyard, and things are going pretty well. Me and Irma have talked about what our future plans are. So hopefully, Lord willing, we'll be meeting with Randy and John and to talk over these 3 options that we can do in our financial area.
On that note, if you don't mind my explaining a little bit for the context, but Malcolm had a pretty challenging, difficult providence here a few months ago where we ended up needing to do an ER visit. It was during a work day for the church, and you and Irma have been going through a lot of things in transition. But I was thinking of touching on, not only was Randy working with us in this formal professional way, but because he is a brother and just cares about us. He and his partner have been involved with you even in less formal ways as well. You're talking about different possibilities. They might be able to work with you on some of your extra plot of your land for your home. And so that's what Randy can do as well. But if it's okay, I'll kind of throw in what you're alluding to. I mean, he's just been a brother. John's been so kind, and they've just reached out and been supportive to you and your family in ways that really is just church, right? It's just brotherhood and church life. And Randy may not want us to talk about that, but tough, we already did. But it does speak to that trustworthiness, and I think especially as churches would be thinking to work with him, that we've experienced brotherhood, we've experienced church with Randy, and it's just all the natural, subtle things as well. So yeah, they've done a lot to support you in different ways through your trial the last 2 months, and I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. Sorry, something else.
Yeah, it all started with Irma. She talked with Ron, and Ron mentioned that you should try to contact Randy, and that's what we did.
Right. Yes. Yeah, we want to thank Ron too. He's also overlapping as deacon. He's always thinking and exploring ways to help everyone in the church, and I'm like, yeah, good idea. So, but that, and it wasn't anything that we hesitated to explore because Randy's that kind of an approachable person, and if he can't do something, he'll be direct about that. But if he can, and some of the things that I'm alluding to, we didn't even ask him about. They just from their heart wanted to be there for you guys. So yeah. Well, I think I have the habit of going long as a pastor and treading ground we've already discussed. But Randy, is there anything else that comes to mind that would be helpful for potential church leadership to know about this experience that we can speak to?
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Your comments have been very, very welcome. It's encouraging me. It's going to encourage me to get out and try again.
Good. Well, yeah, and we're praying for that. And maybe what I would say is just, as a session, I can speak on behalf of us a little more. To summarize it, we wholeheartedly recommend Randy and his partner John and his company. If you're thinking of ways that you can maximize resources financially for your church, if you have some kind of a plot of your area, of your property you're not using, we strongly encourage you to explore it with Randy. There's no pressure, there's no commitment, but we definitely think it's worth exploring. We're delighted with how it worked out, and we would highly recommend him. And I would also say, I'm sure we would say we would welcome you to give our church a call. You can find us at puritanchurch.com. The church's phone number, I think I have it memorized, 619-479-5053.
Yes.
I got that right? Okay. So feel free to call us or reach out. You could email pastor@puritanchurch.com, and we'd be happy to have you visit or chat on the phone, or if you want to ask anything we haven't covered. We just wholeheartedly recommend, and we're hoping to see this project where we feel like he helped us the most, but we're hoping that it does become kind of a template and something that with what you've learned through, you won't have the COVID issues, I think, but you can bring that to other churches. But we wholeheartedly recommend him and encourage you to explore it. There's no commitment, but it's such a smooth, easy thing to explore. And I think, again, that's one of the things we were so blessed with, is just how smooth and easy this was for us, and financially a significant help. Yeah, so with that, we thank you, Randy, and we might find a way to keep the water from turning on for a few more weeks so we can keep you around a little longer. But other than that, we'll have to let you go. But we hope others will welcome you in to help them as you've helped us. Thank you for everything.